Hello, this is Vince Wega. I suppose here to take you through the game week 11. Got game week 12, on the horizon. Halfway through the international break. We're getting there anyway, folks. And yeah, it's not been as difficult to navigate this international break with the heroics of Troy Paris and the two goals and the three goals against Portugal and Hungary consecutively. So yeah, it's been just crazy, and I feel like a teenager again, 14 and cheering on Alan McLaughlin's equaliser up in Windsor Park in 1993 to get us to USA 94. But before that, David O'Leary scoring the penalty against Daniel Lung from Romania in the second round or second knockout round of the World Cup in Italy 90. Of course, who was at the Paki Bonner's amazing save as well before that. Amazing memories. And also, what could you say? I remember Niall Quinn scoring against the Dutch in the group stage in 1990 and how he bungled it in. It was amazing. It was like a drop from the keeper, like a double save that fell to him and he just dived in with the leg. I remember Kevin Sheedy as well scoring against England with Gary Lineker opening the score. And so many amazing memories up until Jason McAteer in 2001 against the Dutch. Unreal, amazing moments to beat the Dutch and to qualify for, was it Japan and Korea in 2002, where we did very, very well. But then we had the Roy Keane Saipan stuff with Mick McCarthy, and the rest is history. I suppose that's where I am really with amazing memories until, of course, Ray Houghton in Italy in USA '94 against Italy. That the chip goal over whether it's Gianluca Pagliuca or was it Gianni Buffon or I just like Pagliuca maybe or Buffon, one or the other. That was my favorite World Cup USA '94. I just adored it. Just beating the Italians in qualifying, where we lost again to the Dutch. They got revenge and knocked us out 2-0. I remember John Aldridge scoring as well against the Mexicans, and we managed to scramble a 2-1. But goal difference was late. Got us out of that group in '94 to meet the Dutch. But anyway, then we have Troy Paris, and you could put both games in amazing moments, but for me, that last goal, right at death, the knockdown by Scales, the long ball by Queeving, Kelleher. Listen, I'm happy you're all happy. That was great. I didn't see it live. Okay, it was just I was actually watching the England game in a pub playing pool. How sad's that? And they're just 2-0 winners, straightforward, up and down with Albania. But it's been a good international break, and here I am Tuesday now. It's the 18th of November. I'm the guru, Vince Guru. Well, I like to say Vince Val Wega. Now it is. Have all the names. But the guru to take you through the Christy Nic Pub Fantasy League is based in Ballyhaunis, County Mayo, and you all know who you are in the community. Roscommon and Sligo and Galway and all over the country to, the whole diaspora that we have in Australia and America, Malaysia, you're all over the world. I'm here just based in London, but we're all connected together in the Christy Nic Pub Fantasy League, a derivative from Max Fantasy League of old when it all began. And I like to think that most of us tacked on from there. So yeah, I've got a couple of things here. I've had a tit for tat with Andy from Let's Talk FPL. He really irritated me, and I have to admit, I got triggered. He did reply, but I'm not going. I'm not backing down. Really, we have opinions, and I feel I'm right, and he feels he's entitled, and it's an overreaction. I hate that. It's so kind of condescending. overreaction. It's like some sort of judge in a court, and you're looking up saying, "Oh," and you're meant to apologize. Well, I know where all FPL is going. I know where the whole thing's going. I don't like what AI has done to the game. It's just there's no, you can have a robot now. They have teams that are run by artificial intelligence now. There'll be new ways that people can scam accounts maybe and win the whole thing. I think they can see through it pretty clear, but really, it's a bitter taste in the mouth where a lot of people are able to keep it together, be disinterested enough in FPL just to copy the moves that Andy from Let's Talk to get your mandatory 50k finish. Or if you want to be more ambition, why don't you ambitious go for Harry, FBL Harry or Praz? Harry will guarantee you a top 5k finish every year. What's not to like? He does all the work. He does all the thing. You just copy his moves. Well, all this stuff now is going to go out the window soon enough when these guys are going to go behind a paywall. And Andy, this is where I got miffed with him. He had a knee-jerk stream for game week 11, 2 game weeks ago, and he cut us all off and he went for a members stream only knee-jerk that continued after he left us. Gone balls, just hanging. Now I know he's got nothing much, really. It's just the principle of just being left there. He says, "Oh, I won't do it again. I won't." But the thought is in the head of the FPL diaspora that, hold on a minute, we have the expertise. We're doing all the work. And that I know that Andy doesn't work, and a few of them are able to live on, which is fair enough. It's the gig economy, and everyone is entitled to a living. And if you're going to do something you love, why not do FPL? I'm in it because I want to keep the league going and grow the league, and everyone enjoys it in the community. And people get into the Christy Nic because they know somebody, and I veto yay or nay, and I mainly let everyone in anyway. As long as they have someone to bring them in. But going back to the point, yeah, everyone's entitled to make a living. So I'm only doing this for the community and keep the whole thing going. I love Christy Nic stuff and all that. Although I was ready to delete after a 28 game weekend. Game week 11 last, it was a complete disaster. One of the worst scores you can get in FPL, and I like my team. So with Andy, I think that's the way it's going to go. 500,000 subscribers, well, 476,000, whatever it is. Maybe the top is in for the amount of subs you can get from, because a lot of the casuals don't give a monkeys. They just go on Twitter and there you go. Fair enough. Easy peasy. 5 minutes work. They don't need to keep watching Andy's or Praz's or Harry's or videos or above average FPL. I like them too. Baker and thing. I did moan to them that Andy's on as well. I did say that, I don't like, Andy does all the boring moves, and it's frustrating. You see someone bore their way through the whole season, absolutely yawn attack stuff, and rewarded with gold and silver and of points of magnitude you've never seen. It's me and a lot of people. We just can't play like that. It's just hard to kind of just do it. Yeah, and you can. Oh, my God, help me. So yeah, they want to bring Andy into their stream to help promote their subs, and he can do that. He is the highest sub in the whole game in FPL, and fair enough if he thinks he can help. Well, I'm sure there's a commission, or I'm sure all of them help each other somehow through. I'll do this now. I'll do this. You help me there. You owe me one there. I'm sure that's the way it goes. Although I know Andy's not in the cartel because the cartel don't do his sort of moves. I'm telling you, it was just like, but whoever is in it, I would love to know. But yeah, going back, he's there, which I appreciate. He's helping some of the guys like above average because they're good guys and they're doing the best they can. But generally, just letting you know, I did have a massive tiff, and that's where I think the whole thing is going, guys. And there will be paywall stuff. And I did mention about the Sky, like Jeff Stelling left, and a year later it went behind the paywall, and now you got to pay. And it seemed to be a national institution, so I was just like kind of saying that I'm disappointed and I'm frustrated. And it's all gotten down to money and double your income, Andy, all this. And he took exception to that. He started laughing and he wouldn't. Yeah, fair enough. I don't mind. You can have that attitude, but that if once one of these FPL whales go with a paywall, then they'll feel entitled that if you want to follow me and get your great overall, become a member. Who knows, fiver 1 month, it could then be a fiver a week, then it could be a fiver a day. I don't know. You'll get all the tips. You can, yeah, you can do all the and I was just thinking, like, is there really any point to the craziness? It's like an absolute, disease that's infected all our minds, FPL. There's basically no rewards in it at all. There's nothing in terms of prize money compared to the Sun Dream Team, which is unbelievable. 60K for the winner, and loads of money on offer for getting scorecasts and all sorts of bits and pieces right. So that's all I got to say in that. I'll just show you just that it isn't an illusion of my imagination that it did happen. I was in Malaysia for the last stream, um, which was great. And I did see the United Spurs game at White Hart Lane from nice pub in Malaysia. And very, very relieved to get the draw at the end. Thank God. Didn't have that long flight going home with a defeat. And it's just, there's nothing worse than losing to Spurs. They bottle the whole thing and you bottle against them. It just doesn't make sense. It never will to me. So I'll just share on the screen. And we'll get quickly into how everyone done in the Christy Nic. I'll just get rid of this. I want to get rid of tabs, basically. So welcome anyway. This is the review, but with a twist. This is Andy. I've left the subtitles on. I'll mute the whole thing, but this is the future, I think, of FPL. Now he says it's a massive overreaction. He kept repeating it as if, the more you repeat something, the more you can brainwash somebody. That doesn't work with me, like. Yeah, but it's like you get some, and I'm doing imagine some of them doing. Basically, he's going to tell us that he's going to go away and members, Patreon only cast. I'm considering it, yes, for yeah. Where are we now? Yeah, around Enzo here now. I would love to buy Enzo over in Burma. I don't hate Yeah, Enzo's not had a great. I'm not sure about Enzo, guys, and Palmer's not going to be too long until he gets back. So panels will be took off him. By the way, this stream is going to convert to a member stream in like about 40 seconds. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work or what's going to happen, but thank you very much for watching tonight. Oh, and if you did enjoy, make sure you give a like and a subscribe button. I'm also going to do a podcast and recording. So if you're listening on pod, thank you very much. Thanks very, very much listening. Make sure you give a like, stars, or whatever platform you're listening to. So I'm going to end the podcast recording. Goodbye. And basically, it was, he said at the beginning, it's a members Patreon stream. And it stops there then. So no, it's just very disconcerting, really. That this is the way. Like the guys, I'm sure they're making money. this and that, enough that he doesn't need to do a job. So it's okay. So this is like an experiment, but it's also a signpost to the future of where the whole thing can go, generally. And you can say, fair enough, he deserves to me. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I totally agree with that. You know, I mean, anyone's is fair enough, but I'm just highlighting the whole thing that this is where it's going to go, and I think that's lots of. I think this is the future of the gig economy as well. And if you've got YouTube accounts out there, it's you're making money on advertising and all that. That's I don't mind that sort of thing. And having a little charge every month, I don't mind that. I do that for one or two myself because I believe in them and the channel and support them because they give a lot back. But you know, you don't want to do that. It all adds up, and maybe he deserves to be rewarded for his time. But it's just a bad taste in the mouth, folks. This, and once he starts doing it, everyone's going to start flying in there, and then the rest are going to be left behind. So yeah, Handy is kicking us out if we don't pay. The squeeze is on. He's very big. If you weed out the freeloaders, then you can double your income. You know, who cares about a 10K drop in your subs if you got 500,000? Yeah, I'm just saying that. Yeah, I can't believe he didn't think of this sooner. I mentioned the Sky Saturday results and Jeff Stelling when he left a year later, I suppose. Life is getting over commercialized. It's sad. All I can do is not like Andy's stuff anymore and desubscribe. And I went on a bit more. Andy goes on about this overreaction stuff. Fair play, okay, yeah, he's mentioned I do a complete yeah, he does, yeah, and fair enough, and he gets advertising, he gets rewarded, and he's got his patrons. But it's something, I thought he was for the people and for everyone, and he many times over the years I've followed him, he's always said he loves the interaction. He likes to be open and free, but something's changed in the last while, and who cares about a drop in a few thousand subs when, probably in business it does make sense. It's you can be more open, more time to give to these dudes that are willing to throw tenors and hundreds a month and they're on just for your time and just to say, look at me, help my team and all this. It's just frustrating because I like the knee jerks he does, and I do really like the deadline stream, the deadline. For years, I've liked his stuff and the whole lot. But now I'm looking at Ross at the moment from the Raptor. I'm really enjoying his streams, and he seems to be, I suppose, a little bit more early days, but he's coming up really well in the sub. So this is something to keep an eye on. But yeah, I said it's on your mind, Andy. You've noticed you want to do more exclusive stuff for your patrons, which is fair enough. Why not leave the knee jerk the way it is and do a separate video for the members? Try keep us happy and not singled out, and give the guys that pay some exclusivity or some stuff you can do outside of a knee jerk. But you can do what is best for you. I agree, you can do what he can do. And if you feel you're not getting back, you should for your if you're not getting back the most for the time you put in, then you can do a knee-jerk paywall and the whole lot. I'd rather him do a paywall for the whole thing than like it was just such a shock watching the whole thing through, and then bang, like even if it went on 10 minutes, you felt like a second-class citizen. That's all I'm saying there. I'd rather him just go full paywall and we can't see anything and he just puts out something. I'd rather that. But then he'd go dark, to me and a lot of other people and most of the casuals as well. We won't pay it. Like it's going on for years, this, and I suppose once you've made your name and you've got the whole thing, you can leave a certain fraction behind and move to the next level, because, some people are never going to go paying money. There's so much in life to pay for as it is, cost of living, the whole lot. And, it's anyway, I'm not going to go anywhere to it. So, like I said, it's a massive overreaction. I don't understand this 120-minute extra bit. Yeah, he gave an hour, yes, and he did an extra 20 minutes, but whatever happened in the 20 minutes, that could be the best bit. We don't know. and his members feel all amazing and great. Yeah, and fair enough, fair play. But I just felt absolutely sick. You know, a lot of people, oh, yeah, I'm just not going to accept that. And the idea I could double my income, okay, funny, whatever. I don't know the circumstances, but somebody must have got into the head or whatever that this thing is the way to go. And I think eventually will. Maybe, maybe it's always tough for somebody to do go first in something because they get all the flack, right? So we'll see. I'm keeping an eye on Praz and FPL Harry, especially now. Sorry, singling these guys out, but it'll be awful interesting to see if some of these now go grey man in FPL. All right, so that's all I'm saying there. So let's get first one. So if they win, I think they actually go to the World Cup. I think that's the scenario there, and Wales have a game tonight. I forget who. So there's a lot going on tonight, and we'll watch a little bit of that later. Good stuff. We're getting there. Yeah, let's come to that. Let's come to the business. 28, complete disaster. So like I suppose I would have been in a bit of a bad mood, but watching Andy's knee jerk there after a 28. 1.4 million 1 week and now just under the 2 million, which is very demoralizing. I like the team. I really did, but what's this against United? Semenyo missing the penalty, Haaland missing the penalty, and Buemo with the goal against Spurs. Absolutely rubbish stuff. This is what Van de Ven does to you. Van de Ven is absolute. You know, I want the exploit of this guy. He gives you 22s, 1-0s. He's a complete trap, a massive trap. Look at this from game week 1, 6-6-1, game week 4, 14, game week 5, 1-2-2-0, and game week 8, 23-9, and 2-1. So very, very angered. And a lot of the people that got that 23, they didn't even play him for the other games. So why would you? Because they're tricky ones. So I don't know what the hell that says at all, really. West Ham away, which I had him for West Ham. I got the points there. So he seems to be anyone in the bottom 10 that play away from home. I have to write that down, folks. Seriously. Play Van de Ven when he plays anyone in the bottom 10 away. Never forget about home because Spurs can't win at home. They've had 4 home wins in about 18, stretching back to what's his name again? Postecoglou last season. Ever since they got hammered 4-1 when they played that high line and all the men sent off. Was it they've not been right that first season of Postecoglou. And they've not been right at home at all until last season when they got the Europa in the second season, and then he gets the sack. Well, I think he got the sack in the summer. So yeah, that's Van de Ven. So I've learned my lesson there. Gabriel looks like he's got an abductor, so I think there's no harm in throwing him out there, leaving him on because he's either going to be fit or he's not going to make the squad. As simple as that. And I don't think, there's travel and all that. I can't see how he'll be okay for the game against Tottenham. Odegaard could be back for that. What's his name? It's a Mascara, Mosquera, or whatever his name. He'll deputise for Gabriel, and I think Arsenal are going to be fine anyway. They're just far too much for Tottenham. Tottenham are funny enough; they might score, but I fancy a 3-1 or a 2-0. I actually fancy a 2-0, straightforward, up and down 2-0 for Arsenal. They always win at the Emirates. Rodgers I like against Leeds, so I'm sticking with him. Semenyo, I'm not going to panic, but now I see there's something flagged with him. No idea what's going on with Semenyo. He doesn't say Jack. It's ankle, whatever. Yeah, against Oh, I don't know. He's going to the AFCON, isn't he? I think. Is he Ivory Coast or is he? I'm not sure. Or Senegal. Not sure what way. Rice, I like. So I've got the other way with the Arsenal and Saka. I just can't get to Saka. Just can't get to him and done. Ndai, not been very happy with Ndai. He's had a few bits and pieces overall, and I do like Ndai, and I was raving about him when he got his thing against Sunderland, but he keeps getting these niggly injuries. He gets a bit of DEFCON, but there's nothing massive really to write home about. And actually, I think Van de Ven gets more shots on at goal than this dude does. Ndai and I wouldn't go anywhere near Jack Grealish because he's just a cross merchant. So consistent enough here and there, but it's not going to get you, you know. Um, it's just a massive disadvantage for these sort of players because Semenyo takes penalties here and there, so maybe not so much him, but it's these other dudes like Bowen, Mitoma, Eze. These dudes are the ones you can't have anymore because they blank at least two games, then they hit a brace, blank again, an assist, but they're not picking up the bonuses. They're not picking up DEFCON. They're not keeping clean sheets. They're going off injured, running all the time. Look at Foden, in and out. Cole Palmer, no idea what's happened to his health. It's shocking what's happened to this dude, and his World Cup place is in doubt. And Mbeumo very happy. Haaland okay, he just stays, and Bowen. So very angry with Bowen, Romero, and Dye. So I took a -8 to get rid of the more like Romero's miss against United. I transferred him out within seconds. I said that's it. I'm done with this guy. Missed a plain stare. That's an emotional thing. You should never do it. But you're just angry with this guy, and I cannot stand him. I really do. I don't. I don't. There's a guy on YouTube. He'll do all the blasphemy, the whole lot, and I really want to do that with this dude, but I'm going to keep it together. So this dude will be on the bench, except for a bottom 10 team away. So Spurs will be soon a bottom 10. So Senesi will be playing, I suppose. Rodon's okay, but again, he's a bit like that Van de Ven thing. I'm not sure because the Leeds aren't really clean sheet dudes, are they? I'm not sure what to make of Leeds at the moment. Really, where are they now with these? They lost, they won. So in the last five, they've only won one. They had a relatively good start, but Thomas Frank or Frack, what's his name? Farker. Sounds a posh way to say, you know what I mean. So yeah, he's under a bit of pressure, and I think maybe he's just not cut out for the Prem. So we'll see now against Villa, and a heavy defeat. I think we'll be seeing a change in management there with Leeds. Looking what they have ahead: Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool. They're in big trouble. I think Leeds are. I think Leeds will possibly go down. They're going to run out of huff. Thing about Leeds teams or puff, there was a Bielsa at the last, they'd be leading the championship by about 40 points and shoe wins, but then the last 15 games, he just ran out of puff and they ran into the ground. And I feel that could be the way things are going here with Leeds. These are terrible, terrible games all the way up to mid-December. Brentford away is not all that easy because they're doing very well with Keith Andrews. Okay, Palace is awful hard as well. Sunderland is a massive one, and then you got running into Liverpool and United. Now, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm still doing with Road, but it comes up with here and there. So and Krupi now, Evan Nielsen's back, and he's back to not score, and Krupe's back to on the bench, which is a joke. He's got a completely better player and more effervescence about Krupe than but Evan Nielsen being, I don't know, is he a Brazilian international? Is it, he's getting predecessors, and Yeah, it's frustrating to see like what I feel like is a young Michael Owen on the bench. They're having to sit about now when Bournemouth could really kick on. Like I like Bournemouth's fixtures. I'd love to play this guy, but he will be coming off the 27 minutes out the last day. He's back to Bologna now. Okay, 1 and 2, but he got some good minutes here. 2 goals and a goal. He is kind of hot. He has scored off the bench before. Um, yeah, he looks good. And going forward, the fixtures look lovely. I love the fixtures. Okay, Sunderland isn't as easy we think now. They're on the three here. Everton could do anything against Chelsea. United are still trying to get back to some sort of top 4, 6 sort of job. So they mightn't be as hard or tricky. Sorry, Burnley. So I think over the Christmas you will be fine with Burnley assets anyway. And yeah, so there you go. So that's more or less the crack there. So -8. Oh, um, didn't want to do any hits this season. But I've got a good bench. Look, most of them will play. I'll leave these dudes on, and what will happen will happen. If Semenyo doesn't play, there might be an outside possibility. Krupe or one of them might be fit in somehow. I don't know, possibly not because they won't upset their system, but we'll see. And Gabriel, I'd rather have Rodon than this Van de Ven thing. Yeah, it'd be just like him to score against Arsenal away, but my theory is only a bottom 10 team, not a top team. So I'll leave it at that. The -8's done. No Saka, which is anything Saka does, I'm screwed. I have the captaincy on Rodgers, which feck it, I don't know what I'm doing, man. Really don't know. Mateta, I got him in, and I got Bruno in there, and I got Ballard in, fresh from a sending off for Northern Ireland against Slovakia or whoever it was. They lost 1-0 to away. So I'll just leave it at that. A bit disillusioned. I don't trust Rodgers away to Leeds at all. I don't trust anything to do about Villa. Um, Haaland's fresh with I know it's baloney. You know, no point making it any worse for myself than it is. I've got no chips, no nothing, so that's my fault. But people are going to catch me up in their droves now, as we'll see in a minute. In the Christy Nic quick, because I've got food on. Right, this is the Christy Nic. Well, 101 points down. I am at this stage to David McNamara, which I have been lording about and picking him up. Still got I don't know, it's a free hit possibly left, so something interesting to play around. It's great to have a free hit. Just to kind of keep an eye on the flow of things. 16k, 16.5k out of 12 odd million, unreal. 101 points, so not going to panic. I just have to try and find a way to get to game week 19 with about 100 points down on Dave or Fergal, whoever, Stephen. Look at Fergie Walsh, great guns there, flying with the 3 traditional chips left. A game week 16, we're all going to get 5 free transfers because of the AFCON. So we're game week 12 now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game weeks. I think what I'm doing now is I'll just be making subs every week and make sure I have, when I get to 16, I'll get the 5. So if you've got 5 already, you won't get another 5. You'll just, if you have 4 by game week 16, you'll go up to 5. You get 1. That's it. Whatever you've not used, you stick and you get up to 5. So if you're on 2 in game week 16, you'll get three extra transfers, and you'll have a maximum of five. So keep an eye out for that. I'm keeping an eye on my team if I'm overwhelmed on potential AFCON dudes. I don't know if Chalaba is English. I don't think he is. Semenyo here, and Dai I think is Nigerian. So there's a bit here, a little bit here and there. A free hit and five free transfers to come. He's only got one at the moment. So yeah, good stuff from Fergie. He's flying it. Like, yeah, I've kind of gravitated a bit towards his team a bit with Rice and Mateta. Fair enough. Yeah, he's doing well. Good season for Fergie there. So best of luck. Good stuff. Nice to see Fergie here himself now up there with Dave McNamara. And four free transfers left, and he's got all the traditional chips left, so it's going to be great fun now. He can do anything he likes. I think he can really kick on here. He could destroy it could be top 1,000 player. Loads of people play chips. He's going to catch up on loads of people if he plays this right. We'll have to see. There's a zero here, and there's nothing going on here. This looks a bit scary. I don't know. I don't know if Fergie's watching these streams or whatever. I don't know what he's doing, but um, there's a little bit of work to do, and he can do. Yeah, I don't know. Some people are just freewheeling, and they're just, the less they're doing, the better they're doing. I think that's the kind of trick in FPL. Do less and you do more. Van de Ven's in there. I can't stand that Van de Ven. I hate him. Gay, okay. A big fat zero. João Pedro's back now to consistent scoring, but I'm not sure how long that'll last. We'll see anyway. Anthony's in there. That's very interesting. A lot of these players I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have Truffet. I wouldn't have Konsa. I wouldn't have Reinders. I wouldn't have Petrovic. I wouldn't have Anthony. I definitely don't want Zhao because he's like he'll get the odd goal here and there, but he's not going to be a hauler. And these dudes, Gyökeres, Gordon, I don't know how Fergie's done this. It's like Harry Potter. I mean, he's a magician. He's a wizard, man. He's a complete wizard. That's Wacka wizard, man. Never mind great guns. He's a wizard. I don't know. I look at my team. I look at this thing, and I said, "Geez, it was this completely." Oh, the more I look at this team from Fergie, the more I'm getting angry. Actually, I better get away from it. Stevie Nolan, Stratford, give me something. Yeah, straight away. I love looking at Stevie's team here. Look at Sarr, interesting. Munoz, interesting. All in Crystal Palace. A little bit of Zhao by the side, a little bit of Haaland. Oh my, right. Pope, good stuff. Gabriel, Timber. Yeah, very interesting. I feel better actually looking at Stevie's team. Sorry, Fergie. A little bit left in action with Chips. Very good. And I think this team is very, very well. It's better. It's much better set up than the one I've seen above. Although this Reinders is really popular all over the place, isn't he? He's like that facilitator. So yeah, Kieran McDermott's having a wonderful season, and he's done nothing. No wild card, no chips, no nothing. 5 free transfers, and look at this. Look at the bench, the whole lot. 137k. Why are we moaning about FPL? It's easy. Look at this. It's easy. Every week I get massive scores. 45 to my 28. Massive score. Cucurella has done it. I can't believe Thiago's the. I'm telling you, I really, looking at clearance here, I feel like just deleting and just say, listen, they can have FPL if that's the way they're going to play. Another one, Lee Chambers says, he told me at work, I must really have a look at my team, some stage things. I really want to do well in the Sandrine team, but I'm not doing well in that, but I'm doing well in the FPL. I should have a look at it and see what chips I've got left. I'm just completely lost for words with Lee. It's doing my head in, and this rubbish on the bench as well, and all his players doing quite. Look, 48, like how? Oh, I just yeah, I'm getting more and more angry and triggered. I'm going to be ending this thing now soon. I just can't look at any more teams. Sorry. Hugh Carney with a 53. I can't look at it now. I've got a very low threshold, Hughie. Connor Freely, 39, 37's wonderful, not bad. They're brilliant scores for the game week. Just get out of them. Just don't get a 28. I think I've seen someone in the Christy Nicholson with an 18, but there's no difference between an 18 and a 28. You're still screwed. Parker Wan's having a good season, so it's 44. Everyone in that team, they'll all have the Sakas. I'm sure there's a Saka in here somewhere. Well, 49 and no Saka is a great accomplishment. It really is. So it was an all-round performance for Adam Hickey here. They all banged and got something. Yeah, so he concludes the top 10. Mark Phillips, always consistent, always there in and about. 39's fine. Just to get out of that game week, and still I think he's got the triple captain left, so that will be ready for Man City versus Leeds to come sooner or a Liverpool game. So yeah, Salah doesn't have much longer now until the AFCON to actually kick or do something, because I can see a world where he gets only a goal or two by game week 16 or 17, he's gone, comes back, Egypt gets to the final. It's basically February, or first few weeks. Then you got the FA Cup rubbish coming on. Then before you know it, you got the international break in March, and then you've only got a couple of weeks. Then I can see us going without Mo until after the international break in March, and that will be just a punt. And then after that, he'll probably go to Dubai or whatever it is. And he's made his money, and a big contract, and Dubai will have to pay money for him, massive. And that's Mo. That's your Mo done for FPL. A good servant, done well, but it's all a new future now. It's all the 6 millions, the 7 millions that are destroying FPL. It really is getting boring, these Premier assets, and getting injured here and there. You can't trust Saka. He's got to be managed. Cole is, I think he's done really. Foden is a joke. Salah's going to go big hole. I don't know. Maybe they'll just cut the transfer budget down to 75 million, because the amount, or they're going to have to bump up everybody, massively next year. Salah or Saka or Haaland will have to be a minimum 16, if not 16.5. And it's the Palace assets like this dude as well, Lacroix, just destroying FPL. The DEFCONs come in and it's just completely changed. It's like the whole game of FPL has been terraformed completely. Somebody's gone into FPL, got a terraform, changed the whole, like you thought like the mountains were to the right, you thought the river was to the left, and now you're going to the same place and it's a desert. It's an oasis. It's a mirage. The whole thing. I feel like I'm living in a mirage in FPL now. Every single season. Last season it was the stupid assistant manager chip, which is a load of encouraging gambling and betting, basically. This season, the double chips where there's no point you looking at your game week rank only after game week 19, when the deadline of the 3 or 4 have passed, and then game week 38, and then we get some sort of normality. Now it's all set up for the casuals. It's all to keep these guys, that are all just bypassing and they're all. It's Christmas now. Oh, I'm bored. I'm off work. Yeah, I'm going to. Oh, look at that! I got 5 free transfers. Got all my chips intact. And I'm top 500k. Wow, it's so cool. Wow, I really set my team up well. I was thinking I'll put a really good bench on the whole lot. That's the future, guys. Have a very, very good bench game week 1. Do your bench boost in game week 1 as well, because it's a free. You get a chance to do all your transfers. Um, I hate it. I hate it. It's completely different now, the whole thing, and not set up for anyone that wants to strategize. It's not set up for patience anymore. It's all set up for the here and now and for people with short attention spans. Try to get footfall on the FPL Premier League website so you can justify the advertisements. And when you look at the prize funds and offer and all the rubbish that goes with whatever in FPL, where is the money going? Kieran Kiley, good stuff, 42, love it. Absolute, very good season this year, and he's got a few chips left. Same with Darren Coyle. Has fallen back a bit, but he looked at well, a little bit of inactivity in the last while. So anyway, I wonder is that what's his name again? Anyway. Ruben with a 30. John Kelly's dropped a bit down with a 34. Joy Neenan's finally gone above me, which is arch sort of. I'm not going to go that way, but look, this is the sort of thing that drives me around the bend. It's a 48, and there's just no excitement in it, and it just wins. That's the way FPL's gone, man. It's just look at the Saka thing, Semenya, okay, and die. And these guys know how to mix it up and get rid. Strike, it was that fashion job that all the influencers went for. Anderson was from Fulham. He was all what the influencers were talking about. Then there was a big wave to get in Walter made until he got the halftime sub against West Ham. Saka was a no-brainer, Andy, let's talk move, which he did, and he's enjoying the benefits. Everyone's had Semenya. Tarkovsky was only in there because he was the highest rated DEFCON merchant compared to with all his stats from last year. Same with Richards, but he takes throws, so he won't be there for assists. Oh, only can you assist from a long throw? And you've handled it, don't know. And Gabriel and Reyes, like boring. Sar, that's probably the riskiest move that or Walter made that Joy would make there. So he's got all his chips intact, and good luck to you if you want to win that, Christy, folks, because you know this is serious stuff now. All the chips intact from our three-time Christy Nic champion winner. Aidan Gaffney with a 40, Jason Coyne there with a 36. Okay, so some 41's okay, and the 42 from Donny. Me and Donny Brian always have this history that we just dance together all the time. There's only a point between us, so yeah, I'm realistic with me and Donny. We just can't be. He's got one chip on me, which I think is the free hit. Fair enough, and he's got a couple in the bank. And I like what Donny does. He takes a few risks and a few gambles. He tries to kind of mix boring and interesting. And unfortunately, you should either go all boring or you should go all interesting in FPL. Otherwise, you're going nowhere, unfortunately. You're either a boring person that does everything boring and you do that 38 game weeks of the year, or you just try to have some fun, or you try to kind of get ahead of the curve. All backfires and you end up top 11 million, and then you have just a nervous breakdown at the end of it. And then, it's just a nut house after that. So, yeah, me and Donny, we know we've been here before. AFCON people, there's not much there that will affect Donny going forward. He's got a good bench there with interesting assets. Isidore's interesting. Is my team born? It's got that idiots out there now anyway. So I've got Bruno in there, and I've got Mateta now, and Ballard. Yeah, 5 at the back must be there. And Dave Martin, my mate as well. He's caught up a bit, so nice little crew there. So that's the crack there. We can leave it at that now anyway. I've had a good rant. This is I'm going to have to call this the rant episode. Yeah, there's a lot of moaning, and I apologize for those who I've rambled a lot, and the WhatsApp group very frustrated with the whole format and the whole thing. I suppose it's fine if you're doing brilliant and you're freewheeling. I think the key, what I'm learning, is that the less you do, just try and miss deadlines and just walk away from the thing and then come back at Christmas and set up a team at a bench boost. See how it goes for a couple of weeks. Make sure you've got guys on your bench and then just blank the whole thing until Christmas. And you should be about top 100K because the more decisions you make in FPL, the more likely you'll get something wrong. So the answer is to do nothing at all or very little at all. And you're laughing. So John C. Halpin had a bad run of it now, but he's got all his chips. All these guys have got their chips intact. You know, the Enforcer's got all his chips intact. I expect to be down 44 very soon, and that's not an awful lot to look for. I am very, very close to the delete. I did delete for a couple of weeks, but you need to delete your account for a full calendar month before it's permanently deleted. And I reactivated after game week 3. It was an international break, I suppose, and I just kind of, but I know the process, and I am frustrated because people want me to hang on because it's the Christy Nic and I'm this and that, and I do like the thing, I suppose I just have to find a way not to care and just carry on and play and have fun, just have fun. Yeah, just have to find some sort of maybe start smoking. It's just, oh yes, FPL, je ne sais quoi. Parlez-vous, non parlez-vous fumer? No, I do smoke. No, I don't smoke, but how do you do it? Drink more. The crumpet there on 36 with 49 crawling back. All these guys have all the chips, and these guys are freewheeling. And if any of them have any interest, they'll be. I mean, they'll fly up, man. They really would. Right. We'll leave it at that. Christy, Kilcourse down in 20, so there was a few low ones. He just joined and there was lack of interest, and obviously Connor's involved with the football. I think Bridget's won through. I think they bet Ballina, I heard. And Roscommon, the football, especially in Connacht, the heritage they have is just phenomenal. I don't know if it's across the line. Ever won the Connacht? I think they have, haven't they? I think Ballina have, but there's no one dominant in Mayo that does a Bridget's job. That is once they get through, and they get through in Roscommon regularly a lot of the time. And when they do, they normally beat the Mayo team and go through all the way. And fair play, fair play, like they're the better team and great history and tradition. So I'm not going to, diss on them. But, if they're better than us, they're better than us. So I'm Ballyhaunis, but Ballina, I don't, I'm not crying a river or anything. But if they go all the way, I'm not going to begrudge or do that. It's just that's the crack. And hard luck to the Mayo or the Ballyhaunis hurlers who lost out to the Taurine there. Taurine will go off and do the business now. They're good stalwarts, of course, but I'd rather us to be there. But there again, they know what to do, and good luck to their Camogie team as well. I don't think we have a Camogie team. Do we have ladies football anyway? We'll have to see anyway. But take care. Look after yourself, folks. Quick thing in the Sun Dream team. Won't spend too long on this. But this is what I mean, like with Lee Chambers there. He's not doing anything in FPL and he's freewheeling like a massive spot. And he wants to do well in the work here, the Sun Dream team. And I get so much fun out of the Sun Dream team. There's so much to do. You get 2 free transfers every game week. You've got the budget of 50 million. Yeah, I'm going to go with this thing. I'm going to play the double, so I'm going to get like 8 points instead of 6 for every goal scored. So it's decreased from where it was before, which was 10, which is a shame. So it's not a magic chip as it used to be. So Saturday is the game week, 22nd. Must be a lunchtime kickoff, and I think this is where the whole thing goes kaput, does it? No, well at least one of the highest scores. So leading my work, but I'm top 8K player in the Sun Dream team with loads of cash prizes. So I'll carry on and kill it. I've still got this super goal chip to come. So if things go right, let's see. And let's have a crack at that. Yeah, but yeah, just giving a kind of update with the Sun Dream team. Mateta done. I don't know. Did he do well? I can't. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. So 77. So not a bad game week. Sabazalai, love him. Got rid of Gakpo and got in Pedro. You don't have any subs in Sun Dream team, so you have to keep on it. But now you have a substitution chip. 5 a season you get. I've used up one already. So if you got a player that hasn't played anything in that game week, you can sub them out as long as if there's still Premier League games to come the following day. So if it happens on the last game of a Sunday or a Monday night, then you got no curtain call. You can't. That's the game week over. So it's just a bit lucky like that. Doco's been unbelievable for me. Cash has done okay, but that's over 2 games. You see, there was 2 games in the cup game, so not as incredible as you think. But with the work thing, I won this thing 3 times out of 4 years. Going massive great guns again. A little bit ahead there. Again, one of the highest scores of the game week. So already a bit of a gap opening up. And the main contenders will be from Brightman, Vaughan, Clare, and obviously I can't win it again. Vince can't win it again. Everyone's against me, I know. So the pack are emerging and they're putting up to me. So we'll see how they get on, and I'll keep you up to date, guys. I don't think I've given you anything about the King of the Travelers, but it's generally a reflection of what's going on in the on the top of the Christie. Really, you'd expect Dave McNamara to be up there, and Fergie, Walsh, and Stevie Stretch. Um, yeah, it's coming through here. Yeah, so I lost out to Andy. Andy's not playing much anymore. I don't think he's out in Australia. The time difference, so lost out there. I've already kind of given up on this. I used to win this. I used to really used to. So as you can see, these are the dudes coming. Yeah, nowhere, absolutely nowhere again as usual. The worst of the worst rubbish. But good luck anyway, guys. There's another trophy in for that. So that's about all we can say anyway, guys. Good luck to you, and thanks for joining us. The Guru out, and I'm just glad now that we'll have I suppose the fairy tale of the international with Ireland and all that. It's been really, really nice. It's just been a nice bubble to have some good news about. Yeah, so it's just good news about Ireland for a change. And when we get back to the Prem, it'll be all that pressure and rubbish again. But I'm going to work on finding a way to just have the fun, and there has to be a psychological way to sort this out. Okay, take care, folks. Thanks for joining us. Give us a like and subscribe, and take care. Go out.